Hello, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to Verdictum. Today, in our Women in the Bar series, we have Advocate Monika Arora. Welcome to Verdictum, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ma'am is not only a renowned lawyer, but also author of best-selling book Delhi Rights 2020, The Untold Story, and a book on love jihad which narrates the real-life stories of the girl victims. She was also awarded Sahitra Shri Award for contribution to the field of Hindi, Sanskrit, and education. With passion and dedication, she keeps on serving the society and nation. Ma'am, it has been an honor to have you in our Women in the Bar series.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear.
So, we begin with something about yourself. How did your journey begin, and is it because you have always stood up and battled for the social issues? So that's why you chose law, and what motivated you towards this field of work?
I can say, Sukriti, here that I did not choose law, but law chose me. Because my parents, my relatives, they all had decided, oh, now that Monika is going to pass out of college, so she must go for lecturership. Because then thereafter she'll be married and she'll have her job as 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Then she'll come back. After marriage, she'll take care of her house, etc. also. So for a woman, it's always good to work for half day and be at home for the rest of the half of the day. So this is what my parents, my relatives chose for me. I'm talking about 1990s. Yeah. But thereafter, life had something else in store for me. I taught in Delhi University for a couple of years. I was not happy. I had the money, I got married, I had the reputation. I was not happy. Something was there which was lacking. There was no fulfillment in life. Then two things happened, and I'll say those were messages from God to me in my life that I had to change the course of my life. It happens to all of us. We are going on a particular road. Then God says, no, this road is not good enough for you. And the God makes us take a U-turn or left or a right turn from there. So this is what happened, because I remember that I was teaching in the college. And once a parent, that is father and mother, came to my house at 8 o'clock in the evening. And they said, Monika ji, please help us out. I said, what happened? They said that we have a beauty parlor in which a girl works. And when she was going out of the beauty parlor, a few men stalked her and attacked her and outraged her modesty. So please, people in the police station, come along with us. So I went along with them at 8:30, 9 o'clock to the local police station. They knew me. So Monika ji has come, Monika ji has come. The SHO brought tea and biscuits and everything. I was not a lawyer at that time. I was a professor at that time. So the SHO said, no case is made out. This is a petty offense. छेड़ा ही तो है और कुछ नहीं है, कोई केस नहीं बनता. So he gave me tea and biscuits and ठीक है, अब जाइए. So when I was coming out of the police station, there was a lawyer who was standing there who had come for some case. He said, Monika ji, आपको बुद्धू बना रहे हैं ये सीधा सीधा outraging the modesty of a woman का case बनता है and FIR has to be lodged. It's a cognizable and non-bailable offense. I thought at that time that this lawyer knows about it, that this is an offense. Why don't I know about it? How can any person make a fool of me just because I have no knowledge of law, no information about law? That was the first instance. The second instance was that a local businessman came to me. This was about 30 years ago. A local businessman came to me and he said, Monika ji, somebody has encroached upon my land. I said, okay. So I took him to the local people who were there, the social leaders. And they said, Monika ji, who has the title of this land? I was not a lawyer at that time. So I said, what is title of a land? Then I asked him who has the title, and I came to know that my known people, they themselves had encroached upon the government land, and now some other encroacher was encroaching upon their land. So I just thought that a lawyer knows about who has the title of the land, who has the right to own that land. Why don't I have that right? So I told my family, I have to do law. That was like an earthquake came in my family. But you were a professor teaching in Delhi University. Now, why on earth You want to take a U-turn in your profession and do law. I said, no, I want to die when people know that I have become a lawyer. I want to die fighting a constitutional case in the courts. So I will say I did not happen to be a lawyer. I chose to be a lawyer and law chose me. So I was a destined lawyer. I'll say that. And the journey continues from the time when you step out of your house for the morning jogging till the night when, after having your dinner and taking a stroll, you come back to your house. The society needs you. Everybody has a question and lawyer has an answer. So you're able to help each and every soul you meet. That is the journey of a lawyer. And I simply love being a lawyer.
So, what are the challenges did you experience in the early stages of your career? Or I put it like the early days of your litigation. What were the basic initial challenges?
Any girl will say face those same challenges. Any girl, I am talking in general about girls. That any girl who passes out of her law college has the same issues. The first is, after a few years, she'll be married. She'll have a house. She will have household work. She will have a husband, thereafter children, in-laws, and everybody will expect so many things from her. She has to balance her work life also and her home life also. She has to give birth and rear the children, biological problems also. But it's okay. Believe me, we girls and ladies have come far ahead of these problems. Now we don't crib out these problems anymore. We know what we are going for. So law is a deliberate choice. It is not something कि आप ऐसे ही कर देते हो. So if you choose to become a lawyer, then all these problems will come. They come anyways in your life. You have to deal with them. And we all deal with them. We all deal in our own capacities with them. And thereafter we move ahead. And once you deal with these problems, believe me, that if you read your file well, if you are punctual, if you are honest, and if you are dedicated to your case and your clients and the profession, sky is the limit for you. People repose trust in you. People say, go to this lawyer. Nobody can pressurize her. Nobody can offer her money. And she will fight it as if this is her own case. So all these good qualities, if you have, those problems because of gender, we have come of age now. We all have to deal with them every day. We deal with them. We don't need support of anybody else to help us how to deal with them.
So, do you believe that there is still gender bias existing in the legal system? And what change you have seen since then and now? Because we have seen an evolution stage in this field. So, what are your opinions on that?
The gender bias exists in society, I'll say. It's in society. Things are changing, but it exists. And not only in this society, throughout the world it exists. And here, if I say in India, you have a good support system also. That is correct, that when a girl is born, still people say, Acha, this is the second girl being born. Doesn't matter. Next will be a boy. Then when you choose your subjects, earlier they used to say, choose subjects women like. Why do you want economics? Why do you want science? Take home science or pol science. So these things still exist because Delhi is not India. India has rural areas also. India has semi-urban areas also. India has that mindset also. Indians have. So life of a lady is a problem and challenges at every step. You are born, then there's a problem in the sense that ladki ho gayi. Thereafter choosing your courses, thereafter choosing your college, go to girls' college. Thereafter choosing your profession, lectureship is often told to be a stable job, secure job, permanent job, when you can have this work-life balance. Lectureship over law. And thereafter, when you get married, dowry harassment cases flood the courts. then domestic violence in the houses. So there are challenges at every level, but the girls have learned to say it's okay, we can deal with them, and we deal with them. So once we become professionals, as I say, when we address to the bench, the judge is a judge. Judge is neither a male nor a female. So lawyer is a lawyer. Lawyer, you don't see the gender of a lawyer. You just see the value of a lawyer, how valuable she is to your case, how dedicated, honest, and hardworking she is on your case. Yes. So bias exists, but if you say bias in law, then I remember I read that book On Balance by the former Chief Justice Leela Seth. She said once when she was sitting in her chamber and some junior lawyer brought a client to her, the client said to the junior lawyer that I wanted to go to a lawyer and not to a woman. So those kind of gender biases, maybe they are less now. But yes, in district courts, I'll say in criminal matters, I will say in high stake matters, they may exist. But if you're able to prove yourself, then what client wants is results. He will not see your gender. I, for myself, I have never faced any gender-related comment, or I am not offered cases because I'm a lawyer. I have never faced. Yes, two very prominent events I remember when I faced these gender-related comments from society. And that was when I was offered the ticket for being president, Delhi University Students' Union. So I was told by somebody that if we had a boy who was equally competent, then we would have offered this ticket to a boy and not to a girl. So I told them that you answered your question. You don't have such competent man. So the issue and parameter is competence. If I am competent, I got it. Similarly, I remember there was a particular association in which they said that, Monika, you become the president of this association. But somebody commented, no, she being a girl, how can she be the head of the Delhi chapter of this association? She's a girl, she has so many issues at home also to deal with. So these two events, I'll say they were exceptions in my life. But I replied to them also. I said कि बुद्धि का, ईमानदारी का, विवेक का और वाक पटुता, बोलने की क्षमता का कोई लिंग नहीं होता, कोई जेंडर नहीं होता. So prove yourself. Prove yourself, not to the society, but you have to evolve yourself. Better yourself each day. Wherever I was yesterday, I'll improve myself today. My competition is with my own self. So don't go after money. Add value to your own self. And the society will recognize your value. Yes.
You touched my next question, which is the issue of credibility, which we
Yeah.
have seen, like in lower courts, we have seen that people don't prefer a female lawyer, especially in criminal matters or sensitive matters. They feel that how she'll be able to pull up. And even when I was a college student, when I passed out, I came into legal journalism. Hardly three or four friends of mine took litigation, and the entire lot went into judicial services, academics, saying that it is the stable and that profession. So why this credibility issue is there when we are capable enough to prove ourselves at every stage?
So, Kriti, as I said, that the credibility issues and gender biases in the society's mindset. Our parents want us to be safe, secure, and happy in our lives. So they are saying, do the work in which you come back by 2 o'clock. Do the work where you have permanent income per month. And do the work when you can take care of your house also and the work outside also. In law, you have to struggle from morning till night. In law, you hardly earn anything for the first 5, 6, 7 years. You have to slog and slog and slog. But see, we have to pursue our passion now. I was teaching in a college and I was earning good. I was coming back at 2 o'clock. I was not happy. God has made us for doing something which only we know. Even our parents don't know that. So our parents think for us, they feel for us, they want us safe. That's fine. But then we have to see where we want to fly, what we want to do in life, because we are with ourselves for the rest of the 80 years of life. Even when the parents are not there with us. So, problem is at the first stair of the staircase, if I can say that. If you see this whole life and career in law as a staircase, yeah? Problem is at the first few steps. Problem is to get the first case. Problem is to get the first order. Problem is to just come out of your house and do the cases. So I remember somebody came to my house day before yesterday and they were saying that we believe, he was a male. He said, we believe that there should be some kind of money given to pregnant ladies, pregnant women lawyers, so that they don't leave the profession. I said, being a woman, I don't think so. What I feel is that if at the first stage, when they join the profession, you say that all the panels, it may belong to central government, state government, DDA, MCD, private organizations, schools, colleges, universities, there's so many panels, having so many lawyers. Allow women to come to these panels. The government can say, okay, we'll give 30% reservation to women in these panels. See, I have never availed reservation all my life. But what I feel is that due to networking, due to your knowing people at the top, you can enter into panels as a boy. But if those ladies get into these panels and they have regular flow of cases, then believe me, even if they're pregnant, even if they have fever, if they have no money, even if they have household responsibilities, even if they have children, they still come to the court. Because they will think कि court जाने से, उनके जाने से court को फर्क पड़ता है. They will have cases to argue. They know the judge is waiting, the client is waiting, the case is waiting. They have to prepare and go and argue it out. So they can realize their own identity. So just do this hand holding at the initial stage. So as lawyers in the panels, once they have so many cases in the starting, then they can go to their private practice also, and they are a regular face in the courts, and they can always go up the ladder depending upon how qualitative their practices, how valuable their practices, how hardworking they are, how honest they are. At least give a level playing field to them. So they don't want any kind of reservation, but do hand holding in the start. Let them have cases, criminal cases, civil cases, arbitration cases, writ petitions, service matters. Then once they are at par with the boys, then it's up to them, their hard work, how they come up. But this hand holding is required. I always try to help these younger lawyers who come in the starting of their profession, and I tell them, be patient. It's a long journey. And one more thing I like to say, that, see, in the West, if you see, West, the women had to fight saying, we are not just body, we are mind also and soul also. Give us right to vote. Give us equal rights. The answer was no, you don't deserve it. But here we never fought for our rights. Our Constitution 1950 gave equality to everybody, irrespective of gender or caste or language or region or religion. But here we must know that we are more than our bodies. So fashion in courts, wearing inappropriate dresses in courts, why do we reduce ourselves to just bodies? We should not. The client should know us by the amount of hard work we are doing in the case, the way we are arguing in the case, the way we are researching for the case, and the way we present ourselves in the court. Still, if we want to just focus on our dresses, on our clothes, I think there are very few people who do it, but I think we should become more mature and focus on our reading the file and the arguments. Maybe some people like this thing, maybe some don't like, but as a woman, I don't want people to talk about my dresses. I want people to talk about my arguments and how well I argued. Yeah. Yes.
So, coming to the reformative part, what change you feel are required to create a gender neutral environment in the courts that more and more women should choose litigation as a career option?
Women are choosing litigation as career option now. They are choosing. But more women, I don't have my statistics in front of me, but women are choosing law firms over litigation, because litigation is a long drawn process. You need to build your practice of litigation over years and years. So, if you say what are those things which can be done to have more women in litigation, then number one, as I said, hand holding at the lowest ring, lowest stair, that they should have cases, legal aid cases, the panel cases. They should be regulars in the court. They should have cases. They should have regular appearances. The court should recognize them because they're appearing regularly. Once this happens, then the cases come on to them. Cases come to them. And I also feel that when we call the judges as my lords and the lady judges as my lady, I think we can call them as sir and ma'am also. We can call them. My lady, I feel very offending. My lords is Mere Bhagwan. My lady is my lady. So we need to have all these practices which are gender neutral practices in courts also. As I say that the judges, we don't look at their gender. Judge is a judge. So really lawyer is a lawyer. It's just hand holding in the beginning and then the girls will rise. They are warriors. They have to struggle to take birth. They have to struggle to go out and study, even go out in the evenings and nights. In the buses, they have to struggle to sit with dignity in the buses. So they are struggling throughout their lives. They will struggle their way upwards. Small hand holding.
So, if I ask you that if you have to summarize your journey in few words, so how would you do it? And what was the major lesson throughout your journey you have learned? Is there any specific case you feel has been a turning point in your career?
Sukriti, I always feel that I am the lawyer for not only my cases, but for the society and for my country also. I'm the spokesperson not only for my cases, but the society and my country also. So you would have seen that whenever some social issue, national issue erupts, in which there's confusion in society, I try to read that entire issue. I try to write on that issue and speak after making a video on that issue, just to put the facts and law in public domain. So what I feel is I, as a lawyer, I am trained to read the bare act, read the facts, the grounds, the law, and then to speak on it. So this is what I do. I do the same thing for my clients in the court. I do the same thing for the society and the country in the social domain. And a lawyer cannot say that I am lawyer for writ petitions and not for the other kind of matters, because every kind of person comes to you. So you should have a good network of lawyers. If somebody comes to you with some problem, you should have a good network of friends whom you can refer to. That you are doing in criminal matters, just help out this person. You are doing in PILs, just help out this person. So your training as a lawyer is put to test every day when people come to you with problems. Try your best, whatever you can help them. Try your best. One thing more I like to say when you said that my book on Delhi riots and my book on fraudulent marriages, which is called Love Jihad. What I always feel is that when people say that these are not women issues, I believe each and every word is a women, each and every issue is a woman issue. If riots happen in Delhi, it is the woman whose husband, whose brother, whose father gets killed. It's those children whose father never came back once he went out to get milk for them. So it is the children and the women who come on the road have no money left. So every issue is a woman issue. If a girl is fraudulently induced into a marriage and has to go through hell, leave the politics apart. You have to help that girl. So when we talk about two consenting adults getting into a relationship, fine. We should promote interfaith marriages. But is that consent which the girl gives, that consent, is it obtained by cheating or by coercion or by fraudulent means? That's the question. A girl knows that this person is this person and I want to marry this person, go ahead, marry. But if there's deception, if there's cheating, then the courts must step in and help that girl from going into that. And last but not the least, I'll always say, dear, that being in this profession, which has always been dominated by men, now we are there with a bang, not a whimper. The girls are seen running from courts to courts, attending their cases. The girls are seen on the bench, be it district courts, high court, Supreme Court. The girls are there as solicitors, as ASGs. Girls are there. They are there everywhere now. So we have reached those places, and the others, the newcomers, they see us and they get inspired. As we saw our seniors and got inspired. It's a beautiful profession. It's a beautiful profession. You are learning each and every second. So what I say is put in hard work, be devoted to your file. The judge will know if you have not read your file. Be devoted to your file, put in hard work, be honest, increase your value every day. Your competition is only with your own self and not with anybody else. And the last, if I can say, कि इतनी शिद्दत से निभाओ अपना किरदार, कि इस दुनिया में इतनी शिद्दत से निभाओ अपना किरदार कि पर्दा गिरने के बाद भी तालियां बजती रहे. Thank you, Sukriti.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming to Verdictum.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.